Everyone, welcome. My name is MJ Pestridge. Welcome to another P3D video, and today we're looking at the newly updated P3D to 5.3. I'm going to be doing a series of flights both in Birmingham and the Gran Canaria, and we're going to see what the difference is. So far, right now, I'm running everything at the default profile, so I haven't changed any of these settings. It's still going to be locked at 30 FPS here. Nothing in the display or the world section or the lighting section will I change. The only thing I have changed, which makes no difference inside the sim really, is a couple of the application information, sound, and that's it. I haven't touched anything in traffic or even realism. I will actually click ignore that though. I will take off that. But other than that, it's basically all going to be default, because what we're going to do today is we're going to see what the 5.3 sim looks like at default, and then I'm going to ramp all the settings up to maximum, and we're going to check out what the sim looks like with all the settings at maximum. And then I'm going to tweak the CFG, and we can see what difference that makes, and then add all the add-ons and see what kind of performance we still get even when we add the add-ons. And we're going to talk a little bit about 5.3 updates and, you know, how to install it safely and easily if you don't want to have to, you know, reinstall everything. Like you can uninstall P3D and all your add-ons. That's one way to do it, and then reinstall P3D and all your add-ons. Or you can literally take out your add-ons from your add-on folder, remove the add-on CFG, the scenery CFG, and the terrain CFG from program data, and then the prepared CFG and volumetric cloud CFG from the application data, and then uninstall each component one at a time. Not like uninstall and then reinstall, not like that, no, but literally you can uninstall the academic, or sorry, start off with content, uninstall that, uninstall scenery, uninstall client, and uninstall academic, and then run the P3D downloader setup file and reinstall everything. And literally by then placing these items back in, your sim, all your add-ons will remain intact, and yet the sim will be updated stress-free. Okay, so anyway, let's boot up now. We're going to change to summertime just because the textures look a little bit better than what they do at fall. We're going to go to Birmingham, and I'm going to see how long it takes. Would you like to attach the avatar to your vehicle? That's a weird... I'm going to say no. That's a weird pop-up. I've never seen that one happen before, and I have actually already loaded into the sim to make sure there was no problem, so that was weird. I think it's because I unticked something. Anyway, as you can see, it loads pretty fast, you know. Now the only add-on that I am running is Chase Plane. That is it. That's the only add-on that I'm going to be running here. Everything else is gone. Now the one thing that I kind of am a bit about straight off the bat is that before you only had to click Shift Z 3 times to bring up your FPS. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 before you get the information about FPS and VRAM. That's a little bit of a bummer. Like, don't like that. But other than that, I mean, it's everything is PBR'd here. Look, this hill, by the way, exists in Birmingham. The fact that it's in by default, I like that. But everything is PBR'd now, right? That's one thing that I straight away love. The fact is we now have Pbr Textures everywhere. Like the airports themselves now are PBR'd, right? So let's go up to about 3,000 and let's have a look here at what we got. The skies are, as I say, this is default EA. This is like the default settings. So this is what the default landscape looks like. I wouldn't say it's great, but then again, I'm used to something else. But Like, let's get up to 10,000 feet and see what it looks like. I mean, it's holding the frame rate perfectly. It's not like jumping 3029, 3029. Like, it's holding it until I said it just then. But it's holding it perfectly. Like, 5.2 didn't used to do that. So, as we can see here, I mean, we're going to stall this puppy out, I think. Give it a bit more juice. So, as you can see, textures down below. I mean, this is like default LANDCLASS, default textures. Like, it does even look like there's some roads missing, to be fair. Like, it's a bit strange, you know? But, I mean, it don't look great. That's supposed to be Birmingham there. I mean, okay, but the clouds look okay. I mean, the clouds look the best they've ever been at default, I must say. You know? Yeah, this is okay, but I mean, we know it can look better. So this is what Birmingham looks like. Okay, so now we're gonna shut down the sim and we're gonna turn every setting to maximum, and then come back and see what Birmingham looks like again. Okay, so I'm back into the sim and I'm literally turning up every single slider now to maximum, and we're gonna see what happens. I'm going to keep this to freeways only though, because to be honest, I only have road vehicles on freeways only, so we'll leave that as it is. These are the only add-ons I've put in which really don't see anything in the visual. We're running the default library here, but in terms of display, everything is, I'm going to untick dynamic texture streaming as well, but everything is going to get ramped up to max. Target frame rates gets ramped up to max. Undo that. I'm going to leave that as it is. World max. Just max out everything. High resolution textures. That's everything maxed out. I'm going to turn the bloom down to 0.10 because that's the way I like it. Reflections on ultra. All of these are going to get ticked no matter what. Okay, so we're back into the sim at Birmingham. Everything is now full specs. I've even had to turn on the dynamic trees, and I'm still actually not seeing any trees here. In case anybody's wondering what my specs are, here is what I'm running here. As you can see, my CPU is running at 5 gigahertz, pretty much 100% utilization. My GPU is running between 50 to 100 utilization, and I've got 32 gig of memory at 3200 megahertz. I don't know why the trees haven't loaded, but let's fire this bird up and let's go for a flight again and see what's going on. Like, my brake button seems a bit sticky for some reason. I don't know what's happened there. But yeah, I've lost some frames with the airport looks different. I've lost some frames by ramping all my settings up, so that's a bit of a bummer. Gears going up. Oop. Gears toggling off a bit weird for some reason. Go up. There we go. That was weird. Obviously, with higher settings, a higher cost to the sim. I mean, to be fair though, everything looks pretty decent down there. Like, as default as it is, like, man, that looks pretty good. I mean, the frame rate doesn't look good, to be fair. It's pretty jerky, but look, I mean, you got full buildings now and like cars everywhere, and I mean, look at the car. There's buildings that go off to the horizon, man. I mean, we're now going through the thick of it in the weather-wise. Like, hang on, let's get past all this murkiness. But it does look a lot better than the default settings, and that's literally just by, I mean, look at those fields there. Like, it kind of looks like Orbex. I mean, this definitely, right, I've done this in 5.1, and it definitely didn't look like this when I did. So there's definitely been a change in the way the sim looks down there. Like, I'm guessing that must be Sutton Park. It definitely looks a lot different. and it definitely looks better, you know, at default. Okay, so we're back here in the sim, full, like, everything again. And what we're going to do is we're going to see what Gran Canaria looks like. Take it off. Get the gear. Oh, gear was already up. Whatever, right? Okay, so, I mean, frames are 20, 22, 23. That's whatever. So we're just going to get up here. Water looks gorgeous. Last time I did this test, the water pretty much looked the same as it does now, but same with the roads. I mean, everything kind of looks the same as it did when I did this test last time in 5.1, and that video is still available. You go check it out. Not any real difference, really. So, yeah. Basically. I mean, do you know what? Performance-wise, I gotta say, performance-wise, it looks really good. You know, like every slider is maximized here, and it looks great. You know, performance-wise in the sim, you know, trees though, I'm not seeing any trees whatsoever. Like, I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, I have yet to see any trees, and I've got tree slider maxed out, and I've even enabled the other trees as well, but for some reason no trees have appeared in the sim, which is a bit weird. Anyway, so basically what we're going to do now is I'm going to go away. In fact, we'll go to one more location. We're going to go to Japan. Okay, so we're here in Narita, and something interesting, I must say, the buildings. I do have motion blur turned on, which I don't notice on the aircraft as I spin around it. So I don't know how the motion blur is used at the moment, but this building here, off to the distance, all is a little bit blurry, as is the actual airport itself. Even looking inside here, turning my head, it's blurry. Like, is this the motion blur? You know, is it applied to distant objects to give a depth of field? Is that how the motion blur is being applied? Because moving the camera, I'm not actually seeing motion blur on any of this, you know, or anything. It's only, it seems to be the buildings that I see this motion blur on, you know, and the camera doesn't even have to be moving, which kind of is a bit weird for motion blur. But anyway, let's go have a look at Japan. We're in Japan. We're in Narita. This will be the final one I do, and then I'm going to tweak the CFG. I might tweak the volumetric clouds, although, I mean, this is looking pretty good. In fact, let's use a weather engine and see how the clouds look with a weather engine used as well. So, there's bird into the air. Frame rate again. Wheels are up again. I don't get this. Wheels keep on being up by default. So yeah, we're in the summertime again. This is Japan. So, I mean, I'm expecting rice fields, but in all honesty, these textures kind of do look like the same as we saw in Birmingham. So there's no, like, region-specific stuff, you know. My weather engine should have started now, so let's activate that. And we should soon see a change suddenly happen to the weather. So frames are around about 17 to 19 without a weather engine. And when we turn on the weather engine, here we go. There we go. Now it's changing. Frames have increased now, actually, with the weather being loaded. Now we're up to 25 to 30. Interesting. So when you use Skyforce, it actually increases your frame rate. Interesting. Right. So, and obviously the way it handles EA is, yeah, well, live weather, so no clouds over Japan, I'm guessing. But yeah, textures, they all just look like the same kind of looking textures. I don't feel like I'm in Japan, do you know what I mean? Anyway, when we do add the add-ons, I have LANDCLASS for this area. So we should see a major difference in the way the textures are, you know. Oh, hello. Some clouds now popping in here. Yeah, clouds are looking okay. Clouds are looking a lot better in version 5.3 than they were in previous versions. So, and I haven't tweaked them yet. So, anyway, let me go away. Let me do a load of tweaking, and then we'll go back to Birmingham, back to Gran Canaria, and back to here, and see what everything looks like. Okay, so we're back in Birmingham, and I've tweaked my P3D CFG, I've tweaked the volumetric cloud CFG, and I mean, the cloud CFG, I really didn't need to tweak that much because a lot of the default settings, like, were pretty much what my CFG were to begin with. So there was just a few values that I need to change. But let's start the weather engine and let's see. This is what the clouds look like, just default sort of, you know, P3D weather. Let's start up Skyforce and see what it does for the weather in that. So it doesn't look like there's actually been any change to the weather in terms of thingy. So let's get up to the air because it might not do it on the ground, to be fair. I'm still waiting for trees to load in. I have not seen a single tree yet in 5.3. Let me know if you guys have got trees or not, but I have unticked dynamic speed trees. I don't like them, but I've yet to see any trees. It's a bit worrying, actually. No trees. But gear's still up. I don't get that. Anyway, so still got no add-ons in. Performance, though, after me tweaking it, I've still got all my settings ramped up to the highest level. So a default sim can handle, you know, even though you've got, like, you know, tweaked CFG and all this, like, it can still handle all the sliders to the right. These are my clouds now. I think they are a lot better. I mean, this, guys, 5.3, it's visually getting better. Okay, default textures down below, default LANDCLASS, a bit meh. But I mean, mixing it with what you can do with the clouds. I mean, look at these clouds, guys. I mean, this is a lot better. This is no longer like default FSX, is it? Like, P3D default is pretty good. If you're doing simulation training on aircraft, man, this would be good enough. You know, if you weren't that bothered about bloody, you know, what it looks like, that to me, I mean, that looks like Birmingham from above. You know, that looks good enough to me. So, wow. They've really tweaked the hell out of it. Anyway, let's go to Gran Canaria. No trees to speak of. I don't know what is up with the trees, but can't find any. When we throw in the add-ons, maybe they'll appear. But for now, everything's a-okay. Still getting 30 FPS solid. The gear is... Oh, the gear this time was down. Cool. So this is Gran Canaria, fully tweaked in terms of my settings and keeping the default landscape. So get a good look at this default landscape because we're going to change it to a fully modded version, and this is what my modded version looks like. Right, so here we are back again. This is my fully modded sim. Now, to be honest, I haven't had to actually change many settings. Like, all the sliders, let me just show you, are still, you know, sitting at like max for all of them. I haven't actually changed anything. So, and it's still holding the 30 FPS. I can't believe it. What's the water look like down here? Oh, look at that. I mean, whatever magic that they've injected into P3D 5.3, like whatever dark arcane black magic that they've been using to get it, I mean, all the settings are ramped up to the highest. Like, I've never been able to achieve that ever. And I'm recording on the same, you know, PC that the simming is on. Hey up, look at that little green spot of heaven down there. So this is Gran Canaria. This is my, you know, full installation of Gran Canaria, which I think is from SimWings. I mean, it looks amazing. And you know what? We are going to go down and quickly, I mean, even with all the clouds and everything, I mean, oh my gosh, we're going to have some fun. My NVIDIA GeForce 1080 Ti, which has 11 gig of memory, is like between 50% and 100% right now, like flipping between. My CPU is 5 gigahertz and it's between 80 to 100%. Like everything's getting maxed out. And you know, looking at what the cores are doing, well, I haven't got hyper-threading enabled, but the first 2 cores are getting nailed. I need to perhaps play with hyper-threading now that they've given you the option for Infinity Mask, and see if it works a little bit better than not doing it. And my memory is only like 11 out of 32 gig, which my memory, I've got 3200 megahertz in. So I mean, I mean, look at this. This is amazing. Like, I cannot speak highly enough of 5.3, really. Except for the fact that you've got to put up with all that crap there just to see your FPS counter. Like, I mean, but if that's what it takes to get all this visual beauty, fair enough. Whatever, mate, whatever. So, I mean, oh gosh, look at this. I mean, this decade, so, yeah. I mean, this is so much better than, like, default, isn't it? Because it's, like, the real thing, isn't it? You know? It's just so gorgeous. And we're going to have a little quick fly around here. I mean, I'm still doing 300 knots here. I'm going to have a little fly around here quickly, and then we're going to go see Narita. Now, Narita Airport I haven't yet installed, so you won't be able to. I have got it, but I just haven't yet installed it. So we're going to see. It's really to find out the surrounding LANDCLASS and sort of see what it looks like. That's really what the thing is. So let's put this sim now to the test. I'm going to speed up here, and we're going to see, can the sim still maintain the quality of these textures in the fact that, you know, the resolution and everything at higher speeds. So we're going to be doing like 600 miles an hour now. Can the sim keep up, basically, is what we're saying. So I don't know if my flying can keep up, but so far so good. 600, 700 miles an hour. I mean, textures are still loading in, you know, quite nicely. I think just now they're beginning to kind of fall apart a little bit. Again, still haven't seen any trees. Like, don't know what's going on with the trees. No defaults. And like, obviously I've got Orbex HD trees and Terraflora trees. Still have not seen any trees. So Lockheed Martin, whatever you've done to the trees, mate, bring them back, please. So yeah, I can see now that the textures are beginning to not be able to keep up. But then again, we're going 600 miles an hour, but the frame rate's still there, you know. Obviously, 600 miles an hour over terrain, you probably wouldn't be doing this, but I mean, this is kind of like a military sim, so you kind of would expect to be doing this. So, and I'm guessing on default it probably could, but to be fair, I think it still looks pretty decent. Like, it still looks good. Look at that. I mean, that is just mind-blowing, isn't it? It's just good, isn't it? It's I can see trees from here, though, on those peaks over there. So I see trees at a distance. I don't see trees close up, though. Where's the trees close up? I see trees at a distance. I can see trees all over the shop here. See, they're batched in. But where are they close up, mate? Don't see them. It's like Lockheed Martin's accidentally turned on the reverse of what should happen. You know? Like, there's trees on the horizon line, but not in the foreground. You know? It should be the other way around, surely. You should see the trees in the foreground, but not on the horizon line. I don't know. Anyway, let's head over to Narita now, shall we? Okay, so here we are back in the sim, and we are at Narita Airport. I did actually go through and install it, the airport. So got Narita in. I haven't changed any of these settings, and depending on which direction I look at, depends on whether it holds the frame rate or not. So let's get into the air and let's find out what is going on. In the Japan area, I've completely changed what the LANDCLASS looks like. So as you can see, it looks a lot different to what we had previously. So if we just bring up the old video that we had, so this is what we saw then. I'm just going to put that there in the corner, and let's get up to a height and have a look at the difference, because I think it does make one hell of a difference with the new LANDCLASS that I have for Japan. Well, for the entire of Asia, to be honest. I've completely replaced the default LANDCLASS with new LANDCLASS for Russia, China, India, for basically all of Asia. So when you look at how this looks from here to there, it's a definite difference. Definitely a difference. Much more naturalistic. It looks way better. I think this is the river here, so if we try and aim to sort of, obviously frame rate is taking a hit here. I need to work on that. That's I need to create all new profiles, because my profiles that I've been using don't include a lot of stuff. So I basically need to go through and create entire new profiles. So yeah, as you can see, I think it's a bit of a difference here between the two. Yep, as you can see, I think it's a bit of a difference here between the two. We're over the same area now, and you can just see one massive difference. Obviously, Orbex Global Base is installed using its textures, but there is no LANDCLASS from Orbex. The LANDCLASS I have is another different LANDCLASS, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case anybody wants that to install, and at least then you've got something for this area, because it looks fantastic, and it looks fantastic even in Russia, China, like all over. So I'm really happy with 5.3 and what it's delivered. I've been able to raise my settings quite a lot, and yeah, I'm going to basically be continuing to do that and doing flights and videos. Now, in the future, I have already got scheduled videos up until like January, because I start my new job soon, and so you will see videos from 5.2, but obviously I will make videos for 5.3 as well. So in the new year, basically, you'll see 5.3, but still, the 5.2 videos coming, they look fantastic still. And the next video will be about the True Sky. I'm going to show you and share out my True Sky CFG file. So thank you for watching this. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. It really does help me. I really appreciate all the support, and it really does help me to continue making these videos. And if there's any locations you want to see in the world, you know, to either compare my sim to yours, then let me know the 2 airport routes, and I will fly it. Anyway, take care, guys. Bye-bye.